Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of The Bald Brad Show. It is officially, actually, what day is it? I don't even know. Are we Wednesday, Thursday, January 2nd. Holy Lordy. Look, I want to start off by saying thank you to everybody that showed up to our afternoon live yesterday regarding exposing and giving you updates on the latest terrorist attacks, plural, that took place. You had the one that happened in New Orleans. You had the one with the Cybertruck outside of Donald Trump's tower. And then you had a mass shooting last night at a nightclub. So a lot of updates to get to today and a lot of exposing to do because, yeah, these people were homegrown terrorists. But that doesn't mean that we can't blame Joe Biden for the other 1,000+ terrorists in the country at present time that most likely are sleeper cells that came through the southern border. So a lot of updates. Want to give a lot of patriots in the chat a shout out because, look, we were competing against multi-million-dollar corporations and we were up there. We were one of the top streams yesterday all over the place. So shout out to all of you. Thank you for tuning in. And we're going to continue that trend today. Big time. So if you could hit that like button as you're dropping on in here, greatly appreciate your family. Oh, there you go. Eric Birch, the $5 kicking off today's show. Thank you so much, sir. $5. Good morning, Patriot family. Always coming in hot, always contributing. Thank you very much. And heck, we might as well kick it off with our announcement that we gave during the live stream yesterday is what's our New Year's resolution for the channel, Brad? What do you have up your sleeve, even though you don't have any? Our goal this year is 100,000 subscribers. Our goal is 100,000 subscribers. So we're going to be utilizing that goal button that I showed off previously to help get there because we're going to have to do a lot of advertising. And anybody that has the capacity to contribute, it would be greatly appreciated. But this is not a plea to do that. It is just for those that would like to. Other than that, the show's absolutely free. Just hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a comment down below. And watch and engage in the live chat. That's what it's all about. So, well, many of you tuned in yesterday for what happened, and that was a New Orleans terror suspect that ran through a blockade, drove up onto a curb and went around the police vehicle and drove down the street and hit a bunch of people and then got out of the car and started shooting. Well, the suspect was allegedly carrying out a terrorist attack in New Orleans French Quarter early on Wednesday morning as an ISIS flag was with him. Now, there was reports that the ISIS flag was inside the car. There was reports that it was outside the car. It was, in fact, attached to the outside of his truck, which was a Ford F-150 Lightning. Now, if you saw footage, this thing was humming down the street. And if you know the difference between a gas-powered vehicle and an electric vehicle, one of the main things that you're going to get is there's no, RPM. There's no, cylinders firing off on an electric vehicle. This sucker can just cruise. And that was one thing some people were emphasizing in various reports was how just quickly it just took off. Not shifting gears, no auto, just boom, down the street. Well, news comes after the FBI said in a statement that the incident was being investigated as an act of terrorism after the suspect rammed a white pickup truck into a crowd of people and then got out and opened fire at police before he was killed by law enforcement. At least 15 people were killed in the attack and 35 people were injured. The FBI said in a statement that the suspect has been identified as 42-year-old blah, 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 a U.S. citizen from Texas. There was people posting various interviews of the guy. He was talking in some prior social media stuff. Nothing about terrorism, just about, his type of industry. And seemed like an average Joe guy until you really get to know his, his MO, what he actually believes in. There was early reports that we covered yesterday because he's a veteran from the Army that I think it was in the early 2000s. His own people, his own guys that he worked with were trying to bring awareness to his extreme views. And they ended up not really reporting it because they were fearful of, racism, bigotry, all these other things that the left likes to name call. And so it kind of went under the radar a little bit. People still knew about it because, everyone chatters, word gets around, but it wasn't, in my understanding, as of right now, formally documented for fear of maybe losing their job. So it goes to show you that, this whole thing that the left is trying to produce of censoring without censoring, but also censoring with censoring, which we'll get to in one moment, I guess a little while, is the idea that, when you try to shut people up or you have a culture of shutting people up, well, it's going to take place and then bad things happen. He was driving a Ford pickup truck, which appears to have been rented. That was also an update, is allegedly both the vehicle, the Cybertruck, and then the F-150, because there's 2 terrorist attacks yesterday, were rented from the same place. That's what people are saying. Now, is it true? I don't know, folks. I'm not sure. I'm just presenting to you what I've read and heard from various places. He's driving a Ford F-150, the Lightning, I believe it was, which appears to have been rented, and working to confirm the subject came into possession of the vehicle, of how he came into possession of the vehicle, rather, as an ISIS flag was located in, see, he keeps saying in the vehicle, and the FBI is working to determine if the subject's potential associations and affiliations with terrorist organizations. I know it's a statement, but again, I'm hearing that and saw a video that it was on the bed of the hitch of the pickup truck. Weapons and potential IED were located in the subject's vehicle. The statement continued. Other potential IEDs were also located in the area in the French corner. The FBI special agent bomb technicians are working with law enforcement partners to determine if any of those devices are viable, and they're working to render those devices safe. President-elect Donald Trump responded saying it's an act of pure evil, which is absolutely correct. When I said that criminals coming in are far worse than criminals we have in our country, that statement was consistently refuted by Democrats and fake news media, but it turned out to be true. Trump said in a post on social media, the crime rate in our country is at a level that nobody has seen before. Our hearts are with all the innocent victims and the loved ones. I would also like to point out the left was going after Trump for that statement. Now, Trump, yes, is referring to illegal immigrants. He's referring to the crime rates. But as we mentioned, they're not able to make that connection between the idea of, yes, this guy was homegrown. But I said yesterday, does he have dual citizenship? We don't know. And how do you have allegiance to 2 countries? That doesn't make sense. That ideology comes from Vivek Ramaswamy's most recent book called Truths. But my, again, question is, why is the left freaking out and not able to assimilate what Donald Trump is saying here to what took place? The thousands of terrorists that are present in our country. That is not my opinion. That is not just something that I pulled out of my you-know-what that Joe Biden, the Democrat Party, loves to do. That is pure fact. That comes from the FBI Director Christopher Wray, who's even told that to Congress. That comes from codename Superbad, Sarah Adams, a CIA terrorist targeter. When I'm talking about terrorist targeters, folks, they know the license plate of the cars they drive here. Some, obviously, a lot of them, and some of them they don't. But she's also emphasized that Al-Qaeda, who we're funding, by the way, giving $87 million every not even every 2 weeks, forgive me, every week, is helping pay for their passports that they're forging. And they're coming over here, sometimes with legit passports, because they're new terrorists that have been trained for the last 2 years. So you're going to see a lot more of this stuff, and they're not going to necessarily be homegrown. A lot of this is also hard to track, too, because of all the encrypted apps that they have nowadays. So Donald Trump is correct here, but for some ungodly reason, and I don't know why, the left is just not capable of making connections here. Really odd. Well, you also have alleged New Orleans terrorist donated rather to Democrats. This is also something we uncovered yesterday, but I want to give you updates. While we were live, we saw that he was a registered Democrat, I believe as of 2012 is what we uncovered. And we kind of did a moment of silence for that because I don't think any of us are really shocked here. The individual who the FBI said was killed after committing a New Orleans terror attack has donated to Democrat politicians over the years. Oh. But remember, all you January 6thers, you're really terrible people and you deserve to be locked up. Even people that were blocks away ordering a freaking hot dog have been locked up for 3 years. On May 7th, 2020, so this is even more recent than the 2012 stuff, Jabbar gave 15 through Act Blue. Oh, does Jabbar know that? It's a little bit of a joke because Act Blue loves to donate on behalf of other people that never donated in the first place. They might have donated 2 cents or something, but then somehow they donated $250,000. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just really quickly, these millionaires and billionaires for Kamala Harris were donating a bunch of money, and James O'Keefe uncovered and exposed how Act Blue was taking those billionaires and millionaires' money and then funneling it and siphoning it through average Joe Americans' accounts. So you might have Jane Addams donating $5 at one point in time, but then all of a sudden she's making $1,000 contribution. Here's a $12,000 contribution, $15,000, and she's just racking them up. James O'Keefe knocks on the door and said, hey, we noticed you made a $250,000 donation to the Kamala Harris campaign. And she, what? I've never even had $250,000 in my life. So does Jabbar, who's dead now, know about that? This is what I'm asking. Listing his job as a consultant for Ernst & Young, that's one of the big four accounting firms, and his address is Fresno, Texas. The contribution says it was to the Action PAC, now called the Grassroots Law PAC, which the cycle spent $100,000 supporting Raphael Warnock, Democrat of Georgia, and another $100,000 supporting Jamie Harrison, who's now chair of the Democrat National Committee, and at the time was a Senate candidate in South Carolina. In 2014, Jabbar gave $5 to the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, listing his job as soldier for the U.S. Army and his address as North Carolina. He was also reportedly born in the United States and was an American citizen, but had an ISIS flag when he was rammed his truck into a bunch of people, which again, we saw. Now, how did he get kind of into extreme views? Not sure, but it's really easy to get that over TikTok as well as any social media thing out there. Because remember, again, going with the censorship stuff, if you say a man is a man and a woman is a woman, you were legitimately years ago deplatformed. How do I know that? Because it happened to people. Well, who are the people? Because you always have to bring the receipts, right? You can't just, the left can't just sit there and find this stuff themselves. They have to rely on us to do it for them because they're not capable of really doing much other than tearing this country apart. That would be Charlie Kirk of Turning Point USA. You had the editor-in-chief of the Federalist also getting deplatformed, and Jordan B. Peterson, just to name three. And what's funny is they're going, well, you can't name any more people. Well, you didn't ask me to name more people. You just asked me to name a few. So there you have it. So have fun doing some research. I know you want to be a keyboard warrior, but you can figure it out yourself, punch in a few words, and well, bada bing, bada boom. Now, two men attempted to assassinate Donald Trump in separate incidents, both also donated to Democrats through Act Blue. Huh. Interesting. So we'll get to a Cybertruck in a moment in Las Vegas that went kaboom yesterday. And I was hesitant to say that was a terrorist attack or not. Well, it turns out that was. And it's interesting how they're all donating through Act Blue. And it's fascinating to me that almost every single assassination attempt on a president, almost, has been conducted by Democrats. But remember, you got a bunch of people that stormed the Capitol trying to take over the government and making serious crimes that were freaking getting, escorted around the Capitol, shown, the rooms, really nice place. Guys were just in hands in pockets, shooting the shit. Yeah, no, it's terrible. So there's a few updates for you that he was a registered Democrat. Here's the Las Vegas police revealing what Cybertruck was carrying when it exploded. Now, at the time, shout out, I think it was Krager for acknowledging and bringing awareness to us while we were live reporting this whole thing, that there was fireworks in the bed of the truck. There was a lot more than that. Let's tell you. We're about to find out. But one of the greatest automobile ads I've ever seen in my entire life, because the Cybertruck basically contained the blast. The thing is built so well. It contained the blast. Folks, look at this photo here really quick. Did y'all see this truck? I'll show you some other angles and everything. Do you see the truck? You throw a little buffer, a little elbow grease on that. The thing looks brand new on the outside. It exploded. That was a bomb. It exploded and the thing looks like it could drive away. Said during a Las Vegas press conference, this comes from the police department, on Wednesday night, that the Tesla Cybertruck that exploded in front of Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas earlier in the day was carrying a variety of explosive materials. Police said the vehicle pulled up in front of the hotel moments before it detonated, killing the driver, who police are not identifying until they are 100% certain of their identity. I saw who they identified, so I'll see if I can find that for you in real time. Some of this is kind of, everything's always coming out really quickly. I can't keep up here, but we're bringing you the latest and greatest of what I got. Investigators found the truck's bed contained gasoline tanks, camping fuel, large firework mortars when the vehicle exploded. When I say tanks, you know, like those barrels that they put like dead bodies in, and they're throwing them in the river and they're exposing when we're having our drought here in California. Yeah, there's one of those in there. I'll see if I can show you the bed of the truck in one moment. Police said the truck was rented in Colorado through Turo. Is that how you say it? Turo. And Tesla was able to trace the route it took through its charging stations. When this happened, Elon was looking at this specific vehicle. That's how insane this guy has this company. He can actually look at your metrics, your data, your analytics of your specific vehicle in real time. The guy was, yeah, no, I think it was running fine. We're not really sure. We've never seen anything like it, which should spark everybody's antennas. If the guy's looking at your specific vehicle, I think it's running fine, man. The thing's a beast. Yeah, nope, nothing to see here other than the fact that it exploded. No suspect information will be released until confirmed, police said. This is a joint investigation with federal, state, and local authorities. Investigators were working to determine if the intentional detonation was an act of terrorism, but they believe that it was an isolated incident and that had not a part of a larger plan. I'm not so sure. So here's that video of this thing just going kaboom. And there's the fireworks that are kind of scattering.
Copy.
So I want to see if maybe I can get it right. Okay. All right. So these are all windows because this was a point of emphasis that a lot of people are making. Yeah, mafia tanks. There you go. You see this right here. This is the side of the Cybertruck, and then the other side's here. But do you see this part, how it's going straight up? These windows didn't even break. And it's basically a bomber. So what happened was they were saying that the truck was built and is built so well that it contained the blast and took all the force of the blast upwards. Did nothing. It's pristine. My building is not even touched. What an idiot. It's pretty much, by the way, it's also what pretty much Elon said. Called him an evil knucklehead, but the same stuff. So here's a little bit of a better image of the vehicle. I'll see if I get a top-down view of it. You guys, like I said, I wasn't kidding. Look, sometimes I am. A little bit of elbow grease and polish here. This thing's driving off. Yep. Oh, yeah. The tires are still intact. That shit's built so... The rims didn't even blow off. Folks, this is plastic. It's great. Not even dented. Yeah. Fuck. Just saying. Look, I live in Southern California, you guys. There's a lot of Cybertrucks and Teslas driving around. Somebody posted this text. This is freaking great. This, yeah. Look at that. Greatest auto ad in human history, people are saying. Really? Holy lordy. Put a bomb inside an indestructible tank. Not a great plan. Oh, that was hitting yesterday pretty hard. Pretty hard. There's also video of it out from the inside of the Trump Tower. There's alarm bells going off, so I'm not gonna. It's on fire right there. I'm not gonna play it because it's kind of annoying, and quite frankly, it's in the morning. It's in the morning. There you go. Kaboom, kaboom. Now there's a crispy guy in there. Okay, there's a guy that's getting rotisserie barbecue. Just probably should have blown yourself up, asshole. It's the New Year's, but hey, you know, it's okay. We're talking about terrorists here. I understand. If anybody's not aware of what I mean by that is my New Year's resolution here on the show is not to cuss. It doesn't count. Doesn't count. It's talking about terrorists. We're good. Let me see if I can pull up some images of the Cybertruck for you. Here's some stuff of it on fire. Notice the blast going up. I mean, the thing was so well contained, it didn't even move the chandelier. Look, I'm just gonna look. We're building a border wall, whether you like it or not, Democrats. We're building that damn thing, and we're getting Elon involved. We're getting Trump involved. Look, the blast, Trump. My tower is built so well they couldn't even ruin the chandelier. What a bunch of pussies! Couldn't even ruin the chandelier. So allegedly, this is the guy here. Law enforcement sources reveal that his name's Levelsberger, who died Wednesday in the explosion outside the hotel, had previously served at the same military base as New Orleans terrorists. Now, this is coming from Drew Hernandez. Just be careful. I like to emphasize that. Take it with a grain of salt. Don't start sending this to people going, oh, look what I found. This is what's being said. Allegedly, this is the guy right here. And, well, if it's true, then I would say there is a connection because we just read that there wasn't. I don't know. I want to see if we can get inside the back. There was images from the Cybertruck, and I'll see if I can pull that up for y'all really quick. Inside Cybertruck attack. Sorry, I know I'm doing this live, but I want to see if we can get the images because there's a top-down view of it that I did see. Here we go, right here. Look at that. Come on, Patriots. So this is what it looks like here. I know it's tough to see, but this is a big can of Boom Boom. This was like that Mafia can. I'll be honest, maybe I didn't describe it that well, okay? It looks like a half can of Mafia can. All right, little Boom Boom. A ton of gasoline or fluid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that we can see. These are all fireworks. And again, shout out to Krager for acknowledging that. Big explosion. I don't know if there was nails in this one. And the reason why I'm highlighting that is because, can I make it bigger? That's what she said. I don't want cookies. Damn it, Sky News. Well, damn. Anyways, there was nails in the bombs on the ones that were at New Orleans. So if those would have detonated, that would have been even worse. So for a bunch of military guys, they don't seem to be knowing exactly what they're doing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not encouraging them to do anything. No way in hell, but I mean, there are, one of them registered as a Democrat. That's all I'm saying. Donated, didn't know how to do things right. Now that explosion happened, Elon Musk came out and responded to the whole debacle as you would. I mean, hell, it's one of your trucks. And he said the whole Tesla senior team is investigating this matter right now. I mean, they were looking into it real time, folks. We'll post more information as soon as we learn anything in response. Musk said the Cybertruck is the worst possible choice for a car bomb, as its stainless steel armor will contain the blast better than any other commercial vehicle. Shit, the guy's running an ad. Remember how he's saying it's bulletproof. And he was throwing stuff at it when he was first showing the Cybertruck years ago. It stops bullets. It stops anything. It stops bombs now. I should say supposedly it does. We saw it. Run that ad. Law enforcement officials are investigating the explosion as a possible act of terrorism after the driver pulled up outside a Trump Las Vegas hotel. The driver pulled into the valet area of the hotel and the vehicle exploded. The driver is apparently dead. Yeah. And so far, the only casualty from the incident, 7 bystanders had minor injuries, which is probably like maybe a headache or something. Any sort of injury. Whenever you see injuries, you know what I mean? It could be anything from like, I heard something, my ear's kind of ringing, to, some serious stuff. The fact that a Cybertruck was involved immediately raised suspicions because Musk's close ties to President-elect Donald Trump, which is what we said. That is a little odd that it was out front of a Trump tower and it was in a Cybertruck, which, I don't know, we can make connections here. As who's not able to make connections is the left. They're not able to do that like we are. The safety and well-being of our guests and staff remain our top priority. As it should be. As it should be. So we're going to close a few of these tabs out so my computer cannot blow up. Here's the FBI. A former FBI special agent calls for agency to change and prioritize because maybe they shouldn't focus so much on just arresting grandma during COVID-19 for wanting to worship God and Christ, because Christ is king. I know the left doesn't like me to say that. That's why I do say it. And well, it just so happens to also be true, something that they also don't like to hear. Maybe if they didn't prioritize DEI hires, maybe this probably might not have happened. Maybe if they pulled their head out of their you-know-whats, maybe they would be able to, find a person before they actually commit some sort of crime. But they don't like to do that, folks. They like to arrest people for January 6th, pastors for holding services, average Joe Americans for, using their First Amendment rights. That's what they like to do. Not go after Black Lives Matter for burning down entire cities, billions of dollars of damages. No, they want to go after the damage of $1.5 million for January 6th, which, don't get me wrong, is a lot of money, but nothing compared to the billions of dollars that Black Lives Matter and Antifa did burning down their cities. Nothing there, nothing to see, no big deal, but here's this one.
The Aaron Cohen Show podcast. Israeli Special Ops veteran Aaron Cohen, former San Bernardino County Sheriff's Deputy Megan McCarthy, along with former FBI Special Agent and Fox News contributor Nicole Parker. Nicole, first to you. We started out the show with the Vegas Cybertruck explosion near Trump Tower, and then we ended with Garrett Tenney, and we also talked to David Spunt. These two incidents, your FBI background, do you believe they're connected? Do you believe they're both terrorist acts?
My gut instinct says yes, that they are both terrorist acts. Are they directly linked? It would be too soon to tell that, Trace, but I'm sorry. I look at everything and I think a Tesla truck in front, think about it. Elon Musk associated with Tesla, President Trump Tower, and, fireworks, explosive devices potentially found in that truck. And then both vehicles were rented out of state, brought to different states, and wreaked havoc in different communities, whether it was in New Orleans or whether it was in Las Vegas. I just don't think that's a coincidence. I really don't. But we'll see what the investigation unfolds, but it is so important right now that the FBI is on point, looking at every single potential and possible lead. We looked at the press conference that occurred in Las Vegas, and I thought it was, quite frankly, a very good press conference. I think it was informative and to the point and direct and was stated with confidence. Then you looked at the press conference in New Orleans this morning. You had an ASAC from the FBI originally saying this is not terrorism.
Right.
And then coming out and saying it is terrorism. That is unacceptable. The FBI needs to be on point. I understand there's a lot of moving parts, but the American people need to feel confident in the FBI. And my opinion is because the FBI has not been focused on the top priorities. They are still focused on January 6th, Capitol violence, Trace. It is still on the homepage of the FBI's website. They focus on misdemeanors and put the full force of the federal government focusing on misdemeanors. While in the meantime, we have ISIS-inspired terrorist attacks going on, killing 15 innocent victims. The FBI has to change. I'm sorry, it is time for change. President Trump is going to change the FBI. It is time for reform.
It really is. And one of those things, Aaron Cohen, that you brought up today, and we've been listening to all of these different sides and views, is the idea that, the New Orleans, this press conference in New Orleans today, you had people coming out. I mean, you had the governor coming out saying, we're safe. But you had the FBI this morning saying this is not terror. There was an ISIS flag on the vehicle, and the first thing they do is come out and say this is not a terror incident.
Not only that, Trace, I saw a photo of an FBI agent, or a picture of an FBI agent taking a photo of the ISIS flag, and that was that kind of rang a bell. So you have to get in front of terrorism. It's no different than protecting a president or protecting a special event. And there's a ton of special events coming up right now. So we need to ask ourselves, did the FBI have eyes on this guy? Was there any active intelligence on him? Where was the intelligence on the stolen weapons? There was a .308 that was stolen. There was a Glock that was stolen. The rental cars, his prior radicalization. Where's the information on this guy? That's what I want to know, one. And then two, hats off to law enforcement. They put this guy down pretty quickly, but we had Ballard failures, which is a physical security failure. Today, 10 days after the Magdeburg, Germany car terror attack. How is that acceptable? 10 days, 12 days afterwards. And we've got a crowd of people that were shot, 15 people dead. And I just think that we've got a monster DEI problem within the FBI, because when that SAC came out, and Nicole will speak to this better than me, and said, this isn't terrorism, you cannot tell me this isn't terrorism when you've got the Tesla truck going off, you've got a ramming vehicle attack happening at the same time, and we're in a place right now where we have to start getting in front of these things, because this is only going to get worse.
Megan, you have done.
Oh, no, he's correct here. Oh, it's going to get worse. I know I'm beating a dead horse with this, but folks, this is something we've talked about greatly on the channel. This is something we've covered, not just through our members only video, which is a nice plug, I guess, to do right now. We don't get any advertisers necessarily. We get some sponsors here from Rumble that takes good care of us. But we have a members only section of our show where if you join us, it's a range of tiers you can get. 99 cents a month. Yes, less than $12 an entire year. You can help support the show. $4.99, or if you want to go above and beyond, $9.99. But it's built so you get badges. It can be part of the community for just 99 cents a month. And that helps put money back into the show. 100% of whatever we make on the show goes back into supporting the show. I don't pocket any of this and pay my own bills. It's strictly only for the channel. And we've uncovered how we're giving money to terrorists every single week. And here's a little bit of that.
There's no difference between Taliban and Al-Qaeda. Their ideology is identical. They're two sides of the same coin. They both want the same thing.
This message I deliver to you, the people of America.
When they look at America, they don't see the United States of America.
We will not stop fighting. We will not put down our weapons until we reach your lands.
They see the Islamic States North America province, the Islamic States Latin American province, the Islamic States European province.
Until we put the black flag on top of the White House.
Just like Afghanistan to them is the Islamic States Khorasan province. ISKP, what you call them.
Until we put the black flag on top of the White
I hate the clapping. It's a little bit of annoying, and I apologize for that, but the video does its job. And check this out. You have IEDs in America and a president sending $40 million a week. That's actually wrong. It's $87 million a week. And that just is what is flying into Kabul. Way more than $87 million a week we're funding to the Taliban. Now, if the Taliban sounds familiar to you, it should, because, I don't know, they fucking fought against us for 20 years. And then Joey goes, let's give them billions of dollars of military-grade equipment. And pulls out of Afghanistan. Remember when people falling from the skies and Joey's like, wow, look at the birdies. He's a freaking idiot. So you have state officials regularly meeting with terrorists and a Senate that won't pass H.R. 6586 to fund the Taliban. Our own government's funding this stuff. In accounting, there's a phrase, and you've heard it in movies and everywhere else. Follow the money. What's coming next will make 9/11 look like a dress rehearsal. I'm also hearing rumors of that as well. That's not just coming from me. That's coming from Congress ourselves. Chuck Grassley, Lindsey Graham, FBI Director for Christopher Wray, DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. As much as he's an idiot, still says the truth every now and then. I know it's far and few between, but if we're all sitting back and not taking this seriously, I don't know what's going to get through people's heads, because they've known about this for a while. For a while. So here's Sarah Adams once again. I'll keep playing it because a lot of people aren't aware of this, believe it or not. That Sean Ryan stuff that we've been covering for over a year now is just now getting out to a lot of Americans. That's why I always say send this stuff to your friends and family if you can, because people aren't being notified about what the hell's going on here.
How certain are you think we'll see something in 2025?
I'm certain we'll either have embassy attacks in 2025 or the Homeland attack, or both.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. So
all the members in my chat right now, we have hundreds of people watching across all platforms. Hundreds. Yesterday, we had thousands. Did we not cover this 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? I'll have to look at our members only video. And I was telling everyone, you got to watch it. It's worth the 99 cents. You got to watch it, because we uncovered all of this. We said it was going to happen in 2025. I just didn't think it was going to be the freaking first.
Sarah Adams, former CIA targeter. And like I said, we got a love-hate relationship. I love having you on. I hate the information that you bring us, because it's just, but, you know, we need to know it, because while the government doesn't want to take this shit seriously, a lot of citizens do. And, you know, they're getting ready. A lot of people are getting ready. A lot of people are yanking their kids out of school because of safety. A lot of people are at least yanking them out of schools that have no safety precautions or any plan at all. and it's important that regular everyday Americans hear this stuff, because, like you said, like Scott Mann says, nobody's coming to save you. This machine is no longer working. And so you better take matters into your own hands. And once again, Sarah, you write our intelligence newsletter every week, comes out every Monday.
Shout out to Sean Ryan and all the work he does. I mean, can you imagine a guy that served as a U.S. Navy SEAL, went to war, put his life on the line for a government that's funding the very people that he's fighting against? I mean, the stuff that's coming out is just frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. And I didn't even serve. I'm not a veteran. My grandfather was in World War II. He's in Pearl Harbor. He's on one of the few ships that actually made its way out of there. He's on the USS Reed, and my dad was also on a destroyer. So both Navy guys. But here's the 37-year-old Matt Levelsberger, and I'm probably butchering his name, is the Colorado man that exploded the Tesla while parked outside a Trump Tower in Las Vegas. I guess they got images of the guy's resume: 19 years in the U.S. Army, Special Forces, remote and autonomous systems manager, intelligence and operations specialist. I guess he was working at General Dynamics from 2011 to 2012 as imaging. Interesting. Okay. That's the image of him and playing with his dog. A little odd to me. Don't know much if he was a registered Dem or not. We'll find out more information on that. And then here's Joe Biden doing his MO, not taking precious questions and just walking off. Just walks off. God, dude, this guy, man. I'm so glad he's gone in 18 days.
We'll keep you fully contemporaneously informed. Thank you.
Have you spoken to President Trump?
Oh, boy.
Have you spoken to President Trump?
Mr. President, go through the brown door. Keeping my crap together, man. At the end of the day, I hound Democrats a lot. The Democrats that I'm mostly hounding are the ones that vote for illegal immigration, vote for funding terrorism, vote for supporting people that hate us. And it's usually the Democrat Party that has that, right? There's a bunch of people on college campuses that are espousing intifada, like all that stuff, right? From the river to the sea, they're chanting, death to the Jews and supporting basically terrorism. And it just gets tiring, but also the Democrat politicians, it's just the stuff that's going on here in this country needs to be fixed. And look, we need these great men and women approved like yesterday. So maybe if the Senate could get off their you-know-whats and approve Hegseth, Patel, and Gabbard would be a really nice start. Maybe show the American people that you're ready to take stuff seriously, because our lives are at risk. And it's not an extremist view. That's what's happening. No, it is what's happening. Folks, here's a little bit of a reminder for you. Let's pull this one up. Seems fitting today. This is just a reminder that Islam does not belong in America. Islam will not dominate the United States, and by the grace of God, it will not dominate Texas. This is our country. It's extremism that it is. There's a lot of great Islamic people here, folks. There's a lot of great people that are Islamic. There's also bad ones too. But I want to be clear on that, because I don't think it's right for us to stand there and say negative things and blanket statements about an entire religion or faith. There's a lot of great people that are American citizens that follow faiths that we don't necessarily follow, that have extreme attachments to it. So I want to be clear on that one. I don't think that's right to give a blanket statement like that. Now, there's a lot of people that are extreme on that religion or faith, but here's that guy I guess there's a video here breaking. The Cybertruck guy in front of the Trump Tower has been identified. He's allegedly seen here in a video posting with his wife, Sarah, on Facebook account. Clearly shows her hatred for Donald Trump. Well, let's see this one. This is breaking right now. Take it with a grain of salt. This is all alleged.
Posted up, midnight red-eye flight. Sarah Beams Don't matter be or
Try not to be weird.
not to be weird.
Not allowed to be weird or embarrass him. They can't do that.
We're judging people in front of the walking thing where you can choose to walk, you can choose to stand still, you can choose to
Pick
walk.
a side, people. Pick a side.
You can walk aside it if you want some exercise and just be devoid of technology if you choose. Post it up.
Not much there, but interesting nonetheless. You also have this taking place. Why don't we just run it like this? I think this is fun.
News 5 that a Colorado Springs man was the driver of a Cybertruck that exploded in front of the Trump International Hotel this morning in Las Vegas. They say 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger died inside the vehicle. El Paso County records show that Livelsberger has several addresses in our area, and they're now the focus of a federal investigation. FBI agents are at one of his addresses on the east side of the city. That's where we find News 5's Maggie Bryan, who's been there for hours. Maggie, what are you seeing?
Megan, this is about all we can see of this scene right now. I'll step out of the way. You can see some of those flashing lights behind me. Those are coming from a few law enforcement vehicles blocking off the entrance to this townhome complex. Now, this is near Stetson Hills Boulevard and Mark Shuffle Road on the east side of Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs police confirmed to us that FBI agents are here investigating this home. We have learned that Livelsberger is connected to this townhome. Senior law enforcement officials say he lived in Colorado Springs and was the driver of the Cybertruck. Our team has seen agents out here since about 7:30 this evening. We've also been back and forth to the Stetson Hills Police substation about 3 miles down the road, where we've seen a few armored vehicles in the parking lot there. We'll be out here talking with law enforcement and trying to get any more information we can tonight. For now, in Colorado Springs, I'm Maggie Bryan.
I think the camera guy zoomed in far enough on her face. Like, jeez, man. Zoom out, Frank. Lily B is saying in the chat, she's his ex now, and she's remarried to someone else. So there you have it. Coming from a patriot themselves. So that's what's going on with the terror attacks. This happened yesterday. I want to see if we can find. Here's Joey again. Here's a other part of that. No one should jump to conclusions about ISIS terrorist attack. Well, of course not, Joe, but if you want to be transparent, maybe answer some questions, that would be nice and stop people from maybe jumping to conclusions. Go figure. So President Joe Biden said during remarks on Wednesday night that people should not jump to conclusions about the Islamic terror attack that killed more than a dozen people in New Orleans early in the day. Biden's remarks come after law enforcement officials caught the guy. The FBI also reported to me that mere hours after the attack, he posted videos on social media indicating that he was inspired by ISIS, expressing a desire to kill. Huh. Maybe if the FBI was doing their job, maybe they would have saw those posts. We all know they're looking at us. Come on. We know for a fact they're looking at Americans. The ISIS flag was found inside the vehicle, which he rented to conduct the attack, blah, blah, blah. Let's see Joey here. Come on, Joey.
Here's what we
Give us some big boy news, huh?
know so far. The FBI has reported to me the killer was an American citizen, born in Texas. He served in the United States Army on active duty for many years. He also served in the Army Reserve until a few years ago. The FBI also reported to me that mere hours before the attack, he posted videos on social media indicating that he was inspired by ISIS, expressing a desire to kill. The ISIS flag was found in his vehicle, which he rented to conduct this attack. Possible explosives were found in the vehicle as well, and more explosives were found nearby. The situation is very fluid, and the investigation has a preliminary stage. And the fact is that right now, excuse me, there you go.
The hell did he just do there? Hold on a second.
And the investigation has a preliminary stage. And the fact is that right now, excuse me, there you go. The law enforcement and intelligence community are continuing to look for any connections, associations, or co-conspirators. We have nothing additional to report at this time. The investigation is continuing to be active, and no one should jump to conclusions.
Guess the teleprompter must have went out. Thought it was his brain going out for a second, but now. Don't jump to conclusions, and then homie walks off the stage after. Some people are just tuning in. He legitimately just walks off the stage. We all saw it. Doesn't even take anybody's questions. Well, heads up, they're still hunting for more bombs. So that's dope. Yeah. Remember those 2 pipe bombs that nobody wanted to talk about from the RNC and the DNC? That was right outside Kamala Harris's building. Nobody ever wants to talk about those pipe bombs. Yeah, just bombs everywhere. Oh, we are so screwed. Everybody send a nice thank you card to your Democrat representative of wherever you're at and say thank you for not doing your job and putting us at risk now. They don't want to do anything. Nope, they don't want to do anything whatsoever. Well, can we get into a little bit of good news here? We're in the new year still, folks. Can we get into something that was kind of nice and fun? You have these clips here of Whitney Cummings completely roasting CNN during New Year's Eve. So let's at least have a little bit of good news that has taken place here.
Whitney Cummings want
Watch
a
this.
shot? Do you want a shot? No, you don't. No, you don't.
Our next guest,
come on over.
comedian Whitney Cummings on a national tour in
Look at
2025.
you. Look at you.
You are
wearing New Year's white.
Not a drop of rain has touched you. We are so.
Well, it's all dropping on me from your umbrella again.
Was that thunder?
That was thunder.
Are you sure? I thought it was Kathy Griffin screaming at you from the street. Are you sure? I think she's cursing.
Well, no doubt.
What are you most excited for 2025?
I mean, hopefully forgetting 2024.
Right.
You know, working a lot, which is good. I'm touring.
You're going on a national tour. That's
I'm a
exciting.
stand-up comedian touring over.
How long are you going to be on tour?
Do you even know who I am, Anderson?
Yes, I do know
Is he
who you
just
are.
like, I thought Joan Rivers was dead.
No, I do know you. How long are you going on tour?
He does
though?
now.
I'm touring all over for all of 2025.
Wow.
Very
Do you like
exciting.
being on the road?
Touring. It's the best. I love going around the country because you see that Americans really are more reasonable than they would be portrayed.
Absolutely.
They're pretty great, and I'm playing bigger and bigger venues now. I thought being a mom would mean that less people will want to come see me. I'm now playing, like 3,000 seat theaters,
awesome.
which is about the viewership of CNN these days.
Oh,
Not
nice.
this show, though.
Nice.
All eyes are on this show.
Wow, you're all firing.
Andy and I had a tour. We did like 3,000
remember.
theaters. Yes.
You're hosting a new Friends trivia show on Max.
Doing a show.
You a huge Friends fan?
You know what? I'm a Friends fan. I'm also a fan of entertainment that just entertains. There's this new thing where everything in Hollywood has to lecture people how to vote. It didn't make you feel guilty about global warming. It's just a fun show, no creeps. It's just warm, wholesome.
By the way, where are you going to be toasting New Year's?
I think I'm just gonna, after what I'm about to do, I think I'll probably be like in a huddle with a bunch of lawyers or something.
Okay.
So I don't have big plans for after this.
Well, this was the year that we learned that roasts probably shouldn't happen at important live events. Whitney Cummings, it is time for you to roast the year.
Oh, my Lord.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Feel free to heckle me. Feel free to come for me.
Never.
I do believe we need to hold 2024 accountable for its behavior. That is what white women do now. We point out other things that are toxic because we don't get irony. And that is our truth. This was the year that people were behaving so poorly, we started being wistful about murderers. Remember, this was the year we were like, were the Menendez brothers so bad? Were we too hard on the Menendez brothers? This was the year we could not get enough of murderers. Gypsy Rose became our favorite celebrity because murdering your mom is so brat. They had her on a red carpet, a little on the nose for a murderer, but she was like posing in a fancy dress. We were like, slay, and she was like, I did. And of course, our heartthrob of the year was the alleged cold-blooded killer named Luigi, who is now in the same prison as Diddy, which I'm very upset about because Luigi already has a lower back issue. This was the year nothing made sense. Fertility was down, sales of baby oil was up, white supremacy groups reached record highs. It got so bad, Ariana Grande became white again. 2024 totally broke our brains. Half the people I know think we're in a simulation. I'm starting to wonder. When I go to a website and it asks me if I'm a robot or not, half the time I get the quiz wrong. I'm like, does the shadow of a bike count as a bike? I don't know. Why am I looking at a grainy photo of a crack house? We just all broke mentally this year. Things got so bleak, we started watching the WNBA. What happened? And we also started watching older women in movies. Equality or insanity? You tell me. Demi Moore was in a movie called The Substance, showing that Hollywood's ready for a woman in her 50s to star in a movie as long as a hot 28-year-old wears a leotard for most of it. Pam Anderson's getting Oscar buzz for a movie she did wearing no makeup. Guys, that's not progress if you call it brave. Documentaries finally realized the only way to make money is to just make them about cheerleaders. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleader doc showed the girls being treated horribly, underpaid, crying. I thought I'd opened a video on Hunter Biden's laptop. This is the year everyone hated the movie The Joker, but if you do love watching men descend into insanity, in a couple hours you get to watch Andy Cohen do the countdown. In 2024, some things left us, some came back. Sanity left us. Somehow crypto is back. Do you guys even know what crypto? No one thought the timing of crypto was fishy. As soon as women started making money, they were like, money's over. Money's over. I don't even know what crypto is. As far as I understand, it's just astrology for men. 2024 election fried our brains. The Democrats couldn't hold a primary because they were too busy holding a body upright.
Oh, Jesus.
Are we still rolling? Am I off?
Go for it.
It was amazing that the pro-choice party didn't give their voters one when it came to the presidential candidate. Kamala was forced on us so hard you'd think she was patented by Pfizer or Moderna, whichever one's. Oh, God. Andy just gave me a very scary look.
No!
Let me be clear, though. 2024 was not only negative. The media wants us to believe this country is so divided, but we actually came together a lot this year. As a nation, we unanimously agreed that we would rather see J-Lo in a toxic relationship than in concert. We all agreed the government totally knows what drones are and are telling us. The drones are still up there, and we have no idea what's behind them. No idea. I mean, they're still up in the sky, so I guess we can rule out that they were made by Boeing. The point is, I think we all agree on a lot of things. And since I only have a minute left live on establishment media, why don't we just say a bunch of things that we know that they'll never cover? Okay, ready, go. Trump Shooter didn't have any silverware in his house. No one thought that was weird? Are we still rolling? Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia put money into Disney, so just know there won't be any girl characters in the next Cars movie. Are we still rolling? This is wild. Why have so many presidents' chefs died? Weird. Boy Scout of America, they renamed itself Scouting America. You know who else changed their name? Sean Combs. Just saying. Let's learn something in 2025. I can't believe you guys are still letting me go. This is amazing. I love CNN. Please stop me, Andy, because I will just keep going.
Happy New Year, Whitney Cummings.
Am I still streaming?
Yes.
This is amazing.
I am a huge fan and supporter of comedy. I love it. There's not much that I take as an insult, to be quite honest. I laugh at pretty much everything, even if it's directed towards me. You guys make fun of me quite a bit in the chat, but I appreciate you guys always. And look at Eric Birch coming in. Eric Birch every day donating at the beginning of the show with the $5, and now he's here with the $10. By the way, this is for a coffee mug. I feel like that might have went over a lot of people's heads, the coffee mug thing. I'm always hesitant to say things now because you guys are so generous. My coffee mug cracked a long time ago, and this is the only show mug that I have. I just don't order another one. And I made a comment going, oh, maybe I should buy another one. And then as it came out of my mouth, I go, they're going to think that I'm asking for donations here. Don't donate. So that's what's going on there. I appreciate you. Thank you, man. And then also shout out to Pat, gave $5 yesterday for a new mug. So that covers maybe 2 mugs now. I don't know. I got to buy multiple. I appreciate you guys so much. Appreciate the donations too. Look, things are turning around, and again, our goal, there's a lot of people watching. Our goal is 100,000 subscribers this year. So if you can hit that subscribe button and watch the show each and every day, we do this Monday through Friday. Brad, wash your cup. Look, hey, I do wash it. I'm just saying there was coffee in here, right? Don't act like I don't wash this. I'm a clean dude. Don't you come at me, Danielle. What else do we got here? YouTube censorship's taking place. Now, this hits the home because this is what's happening to us. And I wanted to kind of dive into us a little bit with you patriots. It says YouTube has faced accusations of censorship. I've been calling this for quite some time, particularly from conservative voices on social media following actions like disabling sharing and comments on certain videos and suspending accounts associated with controversial figures like Nick Fuentes. I'm not a follower of Nick Fuentes, so I don't really have much of an opinion on that. These actions, well, sorry, I do have an opinion, the fact that he shouldn't be silenced. I'm a big fan of free speech. I think if you want to espouse whatever you want, no matter how crazy it is, you have the right to do it. Don't really know this guy. I've heard the name, seen some clips. That's pretty much it. These actions have sparked a debate on free speech versus the platform's content moderation policies. Users have criticized these moves as biased, while some argue that free speech does not guarantee monetization or widespread reach. Maybe there's some truth to that, but I don't think you should enable somebody, or sorry, not enable somebody from getting their voice out there. And as I've mentioned before, we have 67,000 subscribers, but our views hit about 150 to 400, depending if we're lucky. And just has never made sense because I got the same amount of views when I have 1,000 subscribers. So I'm not going to rehash that whole thing out again. But, you know, when it smells like fish, usually it is fish. Notice I didn't say S-H-I-T. It smells stinky. Usually it is stinky. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. New year. New year, new me, new you. No lessons learned here. Free speech is cool, but you're not entitled to be paid for your speech. There is truth to that as well, but you shouldn't demonetize somebody for speech that you don't like. So this is kind of a scary rationalization here of kind of doing some stuff, but I think it's happening. Claiming censorship while simultaneously getting millions of views is the clearest possible evidence that Fuentes has bleep for brains. So this must be surrounded by Nick Fuentes, I guess. Not in tune with that, but more or less wanted to bring you awareness to that whole spiel. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, hit that like and subscribe button, folks, specifically that like button over at Rumble. Follow us on X. We are on a platform there. We update quite often on that area, so would love that as well. Want to give a shout out to 5G Free, a sponsor here for today's show. I want to talk about things that people are afraid to say out loud. We do that quite often here. Who is in control of America's nukes? Sure in hell ain't Biden. No way. That guy can't even eat a bowl of cereal, let alone a freaking thing of ice cream, clearly. So, he's blowing on ice cream. Joe Biden was blowing on ice cream to cool it down. Meanwhile, we have Russian ships off the coast of Florida and full-blown wars in Ukraine and Israel. The world is in its most unstable point since maybe World War II. And with nuclear weapons, the stakes are 10 times higher. How do people like you stay safe? Every prepper needs to have RadioGuard Ace. We've plugged them before. The only FDA-approved drug that treats radioactive fallout. Only feds had it before until now. That's why Rumble's partnered with 5G Free, the only company in the world, folks, that has a supply of RadioGuard Ace and the ability to prescribe it to everybody. Get their radiation emergency kit and radioactive RadioGuard Ace, potassium iodide, Zofran, and a Geiger counter. There's simply no other tool in the arsenal to protect against radioactive threat. Go to 5gfree.com, code STUDIO to get 15% saved and get your radiation kit now, folks. It's 5gfree.com. Use promo code STUDIO to save 15% and get that radio kit right now. We plugged them before, and like I mentioned, the Chinese want to blow something up in our airspace. You also have Pete Buttigieg here. God, this guy also wants to run for president. Well, he was mocked for comparing Biden's administration to the accomplishments of the Hoover Dam. Jesus God. There's a clip. Of course there is.
President Biden arrived in office with a sober recognition of the scale of the problems our country was facing.
Worldwide surge in COVID cases is wreaking havoc on people's travel plans.
Bottlenecks in the world's supply chains.
Passenger volumes declined to levels that we have not seen since the 1950s.
And yet a belief in the power and possibility of using the tools of government to address those issues. From time to time in American history, we have seen a massive set of problems where the only pragmatic thing to do was to act in bold and historic terms. And I believe we saw that when President Biden was immediately confronted with some of the biggest crises in my lifetime and responded to them with some of the most ambitious and successful actions.
No, he didn't. He didn't. I give you an example right off the top of my head. East Palestine, Ohio, the train derailment. Like, dude, we had a tough time getting you there, and you're the Secretary of Transportation. Like, what? What?
In my lifetime.
We'll press forward with speed and urgency, for we have much to do, much to repair, much to restore, much to heal, much to build, and much to gain.
When we arrived, we found ports and supply chains in the biggest state of disruption that I had ever seen. That was also something that was driving up costs, and part of why post-COVID inflation hit Americans so hard. At one point, it went above 9%. Now we've got it back to about 2.5%.
Notice where they start it, right? Do you notice that they don't start showing when Joe Biden took office that it spiked upwards? They're making it seem like, oh, well, it started at 9.1%, but look what we did. We got it down to 2.5. A freaking liar.
And a big part of that was getting shipping costs under control by improving American supply chains.
I really do I'm going back here for a second because this pisses me off. I should actually screen grab this. There's a lesson that I do in statistics called misrepresentation of data. This is an example of what I would show people. Because it is a misrepresentation of data, because for that implication that I just mentioned, that, yeah, it's great that they start at 0%. That's perfect. But it's an implication that, oh, it started at 9.1%. Look where we got it down to, without showing them what was the inflation previously, which was down to 1.4%. So what you would see is that it's still higher than when the dude took office. This is a great, actually, I'm going to I'll screen grab it later. This is actually a perfect example. I can update my PowerPoint now.
Slow motion emergencies. One of the biggest was the condition of our infrastructure, desperately needing a major investment. And that's what the bipartisan infrastructure law represented, a major priority of the Biden-Harris administration.
My fellow Americans today, I want you to know we hear you and we see you. Despite the cynics, Democrats and Republicans can come together and deliver results.
Which has resulted in...
By the way, that was about the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. Don't worry, though, you guys. Hey, no, it was a supply chain issue that was the only major contributing factor of inflation. Remember the Inflation Reduction Act that actually didn't reduce inflation at all? Yeah. That was also signed. Remember how this guy right here pumped the economy full of trillions of dollars? That had no effect on it either. Yeah. Like this guy that wanted to boost minimum wage up to like $20. That had no effect either. Yeah.
Together and deliver results.
Which has resulted in 60,000 projects in every state and territory in the country, and creating and supporting millions of jobs. With the Biden-Harris administration, we've seen a profound change in the level of ambition to fix things that have needed fixing in this country. From the treatment of passengers by airlines, which added up to the biggest passenger rights actions in the history of the department.
This dude's gonna talk about airlines? Yo, planes have been crashing left and right across the globe, bro. I understand they weren't American, but come on.
It's why this administration is undertaking the largest investment in passenger rail since Amtrak.
I can't do it. I'm sorry, you guys. If you want to finish it, you can find it. I can't listen to this guy anymore. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Shout out to Pat with the $5. God damn it, Pat. Pat goes, still got to get that mug ordered. This should help with shipping. Thank you for the $5, Pat. Oh no, Michelle. Michelle with the $2. How can I support you here? I hate YouTube. Yeah, okay. I gotta be honest, I fell short again. Let me explain what's going on here. So I need to open up this tab here. Let me explain something. All right. In theory, you should be able to hit this join tab right here. But you guys notice how my verified check mark is gone off of I almost said Twitter or X. Rumble here is because Dylan helped me out and he said I have to reset it. So I just didn't do it yesterday like I said I was going to. And mind you, I said I would do it the day before. I'm sorry. I'm a procrastinator. But Krager here says something great. He says, well, if you go to baldbrad.com, he has a donation button where he receives 97% of donations. And Krager donated $5 yesterday through it. So shout out. I got the notification on the email. Thank you, Krager. Appreciate that. So thank you for the $2. Also, you guys, if you don't, you can, if for questions like that, just so it gets read, you don't have to donate. If you want to email me at TheBaldBradShow@gmail.com, you guys can do that as well. I try to read everybody. As you can see, there's a lot of people in here. I try. But if you donate, then yeah, it definitely gets flagged and I will see it. So appreciate that. Appreciate all of you. I tell you, we have the best community here. If you're not part of the community, I don't know what you're doing. Look, I love Dan Bongino. I love the Daily Wire. I love Steven Crowder. I love the Blaze. I love all those communities, y'all. But what I will say, ours is the best. I know all the content creators say that. I'm the content creator here. I know your names. We know each other's names in here. We say good morning to one another each and every morning. So there's a lot of other news that's taking place here. DNC touts best moments get quickly reality checked on here. This is something I wanted to show you all. The Democrat Party National Committee wrapped up the year with a December 31st X post sharing some of their favorite moments of 2024, but Republicans responded that delivering a quick reality check to them. So here we go. Buckle up. Using at the Democrats account on X, the party posted 4 photos along with the caption, some of our favorite moments from 2024. One photo showed President Joe Biden wearing his diaper. Oh, sorry, no, it doesn't say that. Wearing his usual aviator suit. We have fun here. We have fun. I crack myself up. Wearing his aviator sunglasses despite being on the set of a late night comedy show. Another showed the president with members of the U.S. Olympic team. The last 2 showed Vice President Kamala Harris first helping First Gentleman Doug with a tuxedo and then waving as she steps on a rally stage. The GOP responded with just one photo showing the final electoral map at the end of 2024. Woo! It's a good one. It's a good one, GOP. I like you. I like you a lot. President Donald Trump, a rapid response directed Jake Schneider, replied with a screenshot of San Francisco's Chronicle front page the morning after the election. The photo shows Harris standing alone. The headline was a single word, trumped. And that's San Francisco, man. That place is leftist. Super lefty. Good job, Jake. Shout out to you. Another responded by sharing a series of video clips, adding the caption, don't forget these. Oh, baby, I gotta see this. I gotta see this.
Maybe you could answer the question most of America is asking outside the Democratic Party or Oprah Winfrey at the DNC. Who is Kamala Harris?
She's a fraud.
In what respect?
She is an image that's been carefully crafted. You can start with what she is. She has a certain paint job, but that doesn't make her what she claims. And we have somebody that has a fabricated reality. I was just mentioning it a minute or 2 ago. She talks about she was that child on the bus integrating the schools. And if this was in California, I don't get it, because at that point I was a school teacher in L.A., California.
I said to her, so you know how those lids are, because this is, well, I'm just going to speak, okay? So this is it. So you know how those lids on those Starbucks cups, they're white, right? And so if you wear lipstick, they get all over the lid. And so then I find myself in meetings, if I'm the only woman, and that's kind of, and so I keep taking the lid off and having my cup out so that I don't have that big lipstick mark on the lid. So I said, can we do something about the color of the lid? I said to her, so you
What the hell was that? $74 million voted for this? 74? We dodged a big one, boys.
That is why, also, starting with our administration, we gave TPS, temporary protected status, to Haitian migrants, 55,000. And then more recently, we extended temporary protected status to over 100,000 Haitian migrants for that very reason, that they need support, they need protection. That is why, also, starting with our administration.
You know, hashtag never forget. You know, can you guys see it in my face? I feel like she's sucking the life out of me. I just realized I was kind of sexual and I apologize, but that's not what I meant by that.
And I'm going to say what a lot of these folks aren't saying. I'm just going to say it. If you think that there is consensus among the people who want Joe Biden to leave, that they will support Vice President Harris, you would be mistaken. And I'm going to say that because if they're going to come out and say all their little things on background off the record, but they're not going to be fully honest, I'm going to be honest for them. I'm in these rooms. I see what they say in conversations. A lot of them are not just interested in removing the president. They are interested in removing the whole.
Oh, thank God the internet saved us. Thank you, whoever's running the internet. We couldn't take any more of her. You know what? Can I give you guys a hot take here? She's hot. I'll be honest. She's hot. She's crazy. Now, I've said this in the past, and here's my take. I think a lot of people are getting behind this. Maybe the world's best bartender. Because you have to not only, well, you have to look at a pretty girl, but then you have to listen to her, which is going to cause you to drink more. It's genius. Absolutely genius. She's coming home from a long day of work. You're tired of hearing the nagging, not just at work, but also from the wife. And now you got to go to the bar and listen to her crap. Just keep them coming. I'm trying to drown it out. Just keep them coming, please. Oh boy. All right. There's nothing left there. Nothing left there. Yeah, she's sexy but crazy. Yeah. Yeah, don't get caught in the trap, boys. Don't get caught in the trap. Well, no, she's hot. I know some of the Patriot ladies like, no, but yeah, she's hot. No, she's good looking. She got the Disney eyes. Yeah, no, that's what happens. You get sucked in, right? Oh, you're so pretty. Right, like you're a fly going into a trap, you know what I mean? And the second that you get in that relationship with her, you get zapped. We've all been camping before. We know what that looks like. It's terrible. It's just terrible. A shout out to Duke here for following me over at X. Just want to give a shout out to his looking at that. Got a nice little follow from Duke, the free range American. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you. Might as well read more of your chats. It's almost Friday, but it's not. Hot mess, crazy eyes, crazy googly eyes looking into my soul. AOC Commie removed the pronouns from her social page. I believe it's a farce attempt to befuddle folks into acceptance, and she's not crazy or one of the extremist lefties. She's crazy. Oh boy, she's off. She's gone. She's far off. I want to give you guys some quick updates here from what's going on with Fox. FBI scours Bourbon Street terrorist house here. So here's the latest. I guess I'll have to go to this view so you can see it. FBI conducts search, this as of an hour ago, at Bourbon Street attack suspect's Houston home. We saw a huge movement yesterday of agents flocking into Houston. It kind of went viral, so let's get some updates on this one. The FBI and local law enforcement partners searched the New Orleans attacker's home in Houston on Thursday morning. The FBI Houston office said in a statement at approximately 7:50 a.m., FBI Houston and Harris County Sheriff's Office concluded a court-authorized search and cleared the 12,000 block of Crescent Peak Drive. At this time, there is no threat to residents in that area. Due to ongoing nature investigation, we're unable to provide any details. FBI New Orleans remains the primary field office responsible for investigating blah, blah, blah yesterday. So Sugar Bowl 38 minutes ago. Security beefed up for the Super Bowl levels, 2 Super Bowl levels rather. So that's good, making people feel safe. Sugar Bowl announces new start time after postponed amid New Orleans attack. So that looks like, for anybody that's going to watch it, I'm not. The All-State Sugar Bowl officially announced Wednesday afternoon that the game will start at 3 p.m. local time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there you go. If you want to watch that, you can. And hopefully nothing bad happens. That'd be freaking terrible. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry says New Orleans is safe following Bourbon Street attack. Come on. I don't know about that, but maybe. Speaker Mike Johnson sounds alarm on border crisis after New Orleans attack, dereliction of duty. Yes, sir. I say borderline treason. So those are the updates for you, folks. And that is the conclusion of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. We had a lot of people joining us over here at Rumble, over at YouTube, over on X. And look, I'm going to make a commitment right now. The second that I get off stream, I'm going to fix our locals tab so that y'all can join. Because really our goal is to explain, can I explain? So it's the Patriots in the chat that stay till the very end. I'm going to explain my logic here. And I want to explain how much I'm spending on advertising. We're talking almost $1,000 a month on advertising. That's over double than what I've done in the past. But I need that help from all of you. Please don't feel that you have to, but if you have the means, we would love for you to join our membership over at YouTube or the donation tab on baldbrad.com. I will be funding the majority of this. And a lot of you don't know, I work about 3 jobs. And a lot of those extra jobs help put money back into the show because it's a hobby that I really enjoy. Obviously, your donations help a lot, but the vast majority of it is just my own money. You know, it's my hobby. It's what I love to do. And I get to hang out with great patriots and awesome people such as yourselves. So I find it worth it. And I want to get conservative thought and ideas out there to new viewers and get the news out to people. So I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about spending my own money. But we could do more and make it bigger. So to do that, the goal is 100,000 subscribers. I don't know if it's possible. That's twice as much as we got last year. We got about almost 18,000 subscribers last year. So I need to double that number by the end of this year, but that's the goal. So with any help would be greatly appreciated. If not, you just watching is helping. You hitting that like button, joining us, that is what helps the most. So please just know that. I appreciate all your help and always tuning in. Love that. Thank you, Angel. Look, Angel becoming a Bald Brad Army. Thank you, sir. Longtime supporter. I appreciate you. Thank you. Have an awesome day, Patriots. You too, Lulu. Take care of yourself. Robin says, stay safe and keep your head on a swivel. Absolutely truth spoken there. Thank you. Lulu says, Beauty and Lara and Melania, of course. Oh, yeah. Republican women are next level. That's for sure. You know, there's a few that will struggle through in the left, and that's one of them, AOC. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe. You too, Q. Absolutely sweet. Paul says, you all have a great day now. Love that. Sweet sunset, Lulu. Me too, but we can appreciate true beauty when we see it. Absolutely. We just have a lot of that, Patriots, in our chat. Krager is stay in the Sugar Bowl, although my interest is NFL is way down. Yes. Stay safe, everybody. Great day. Great show, Brad. Thank you, Pat. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Stay blessed and love everyone. Appreciate you guys nonetheless. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do for the channel. Thank you for always tuning in, and I will see you later, maybe even later today. We'll see what happens, and I'll get that locals thing figured out right now. Thank you, Patriots, and I'll see you next time here on The Bald Brad Show. Take care.